Problem?
Appreciate your time. So we got here, man, one of Midway's legends, Midway, Florida.
Yep.
Uh,
Born and
this
raised.
dude, this dude here, man, I done seen him grow up from afar. Got to get to know him better after college. Hooped with him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Kadeem, y'all don't know Kadeem. He about 6'4", about 300, but that boy could
Yeah.
move though on that.
Yeah.
um, and we done had some good conversations, and I really just like the way he carry himself, the moves he make, just staying humble, working hard, staying under the radar, but still getting things done.
Yep.
That's what a company contract season represents. People like that, and this dude here should definitely have a statue built for him one day, man, because of the things he done for the community, and just the moves he been making, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this dude here, he done brought the Bentley back to Sanford. So uh, ladies and gentlemen, man, I present to y'all Kadeem Edwards.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say all that. I thank you for the words of encouragement and enlightenment. I just me just hard working. Came with a blue collar every day. So and at the end of the day, um, it paid off.
Facts. Can you adjust your microphone? Kind of like
Oh.
there we go. We better. We good money. So before man we get started, man, on the accolades and your story, your challenges, ups and downs. What can you tell people who is Kadeem Edwards and what he stand behind?
Um, who is Kadeem Edwards? A man of integrity, a man of humbleness, and a man of hard work. I come from, like you said, the little town of Midway. Um, I grew up, idolizing people like hometown heroes, like, you know, um, Ron Moore, Jeff Fain,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, people of that stature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just I just chipped away until, I was able to get a scholarship. So, and then I took the route of going to a small school, but I ended up,
But, but
making it to the NFL.
before we get started with that, uh, it's the legend started at Seminole High School.
Definitely.
And now tell me this. Now, did you play Pop Warner? Growing up, or was it like
No.
you just started? Like, how did football come in your life, man?
So I was a sports junkie growing up, but I was always too big to play. I
Mm.
was when I was, I think in middle school, I was 5'4", something like that, 5'6". I was short and round to keep it simple. Yeah, I was short and round. Uh, but eighth going into the ninth, I sprouted to 6'2", and
Mm.
then that was my first year of playing football ever.
Wow.
Anything organized. I tried to play basketball, but you know, it was just
Yeah,
I would say politics, but I ain't know nothing about that at that age. They just
okay.
say I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So
So you took football a little more serious then.
yeah, it was my first real. No, it was my second real organized sport. I played junior magics. I did
Mm.
play junior magic. I only played it for 1 year, and that was it.
Okay. So was it a aspiration like a dream of yours once you started playing football your freshman year? Was it like, man, maybe I could go play college, or was it just I'm just playing it by ear? I don't really know. What was kind of the
Man,
mindset?
uh, I ain't really have. I wouldn't say I wouldn't have college ambitions at the time when I first started, but it wasn't at the forefront. It
Mm.
wasn't.
it was just something to do. I was able to finally play football. I was
Mm.
not able to play growing up, so I was finally able to play. I was finally able to, go get out there with people I seen, do great things in Pop Warner. Um, I got out there with, a couple, some great athletes, and
Right.
I was able to play.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I just put it all together. It was fun. It was something to do. It's something that kept me humble and kept me grounded because if you don't find something to do, as you know,
Yeah.
you could easily get derailed.
Yeah.
So easily get derailed. So yeah, so that was literally it. It was just something to do.
So the moment came, well, the year came in 2008. 2008,
And to my when we won,
won the state championship.
yeah, yeah, it was 2008. Yeah,
So, but the thing is, I feel like people that know that's gonna go watch this, and people that don't know, y'all was down 21 to zip at halftime.
right,
All
right.
right, so you got the whole city, you got Midway out there. We watching it. We had the game. I don't know if it's too many people believe y'all was gonna come back. What
I don't, I don't think.
what you thought? Going in halftime. And this your senior year, right?
Yeah, this is my senior year.
Okay, so you as a senior, you going, y'all going into halftime. What are y'all thinking? What's going on in your mind?
Actually, we went down halftime. And we went to halftime 7-21 because Ray
Mm,
just scored.
mm,
Uh, so and believe it or not, and you can ask anybody on the team that year when um when we got in the locker room, it was like a calmness.
mm.
Nobody was yelling. Nobody. I think the only person that raised his voice was Coach Ron, and he just an emotional person.
Right.
But everybody else was calm and level headed because we just scored, and we know how we scored, and we know they couldn't stop it if we really tried. Like if we really stuck to this game plan that we scored on.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, it was no hoo hoo rah rah. It was no jumping around. It was it was literally like a quiet before the storm, you know. So we down 21-0. Boom, we go out, we score. We score again. Then we almost didn't score because of me. I had two false starts inside the 5 yard line.
What,
But Andre ended up
what,
yeah.
what you what you get nervous?
Nah, it was I don't know. It was just something. And then I don't know what it was because I don't think I had false starts all year. It was 21-14. I had two in a row.
Yeah.
But then Andre he ended up saving me by scoring. Um, and then the rest was the fourth quarter, and we was jabbing with them, and we were jabbing back and forth, and
Uh-huh.
you know right through the ball. Andre made the catch,
On,
and
on
the rest was
before
history.
before that play happened, when Ray threw the pass, what was it like? Y'all knew the play call? Was it like coach was like, okay, we gonna run this play? Y'all was like, okay, boom, 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 and you was just like, was it like, take us through that moment before it happened?
Well, the scenario I don't have so many football plays since then. I gotta watch the game. But the scenario, I think we ran. Yeah, we ran and we got into at least field goal range.
Mm,
I want to say, and then after that, I think we had a couple. We had this play call. Andre ran a goal.
mm,
We just needed to give Ray time. I think he said something as give him a little time so he could get the ball up. So
mm.
we gave him a little time, and then he just dropped back. We gave him exactly what he wanted, and he went up and Andre made the catch. He made the
Right.
spectacular catch.
And for people that don't know, that was the first time Seminole High School won a state championship.
Yeah.
And just the way they did it, I feel like is forever in time because the boys came down. They was down and came back. It was a true underdog story. And I feel
Hmm.
like that story is gonna live forever. And that year, y'all had three All Americans.
Right.
Um, and it was meant for y'all. It was I feel like it was destiny. You know what I mean? The catch when Andre caught the ball, Ray threw a 40. For people that don't know, Ray threw a 40-yard touchdown. Andre caught it, and the rest was history. But the way it happened was, it was against Teddy Bridgewater, who's
Hmm.
currently playing for the Carolina Panthers. So y'all weren't going against no chump team. Miami Northwestern
Right.
was a problem, and
Right.
and a lot of people didn't give y'all the credit to win the game. So for y'all to do it, man, that's right there. That was the start of the legend right there.
Yeah, that was the start of the reshape of so many people lives,
Mm.
and the reshape of Seminole High School. If you know, Seminole ain't had the best rep
Mhm.
prior to 2000s. I say 2007
Mhm.
on back. They didn't have the best rep, so that started a whole transition of kids. People trying to force their kids into Seminole. Because
Mhm.
when I first went to high school, everybody was talking about going to Lake Mary or Lake Brantley, but it yeah, it ended up working itself out, and now Seminole, I would say, is the powerhouse of Seminole County,
Right.
which is and it's probably, I would consider a powerhouse in Central Florida, especially
Right.
these last couple of years.
Right.
You know,
Right. First of all, I gotta say, rest in peace to Coach Ron, most definitely.
exactly. Peace.
Um, and so going into college, and I forgot to tell the people, your senior year, third team All State, 6A selection.
Hmm.
So you made a
Hmm.
noise, you made a bang.
Yeah.
So what was the life after high school? What was your process of trying to get into school? How was it looking for you? What was going through your mind? Things of that nature.
So the process after school, after the football season, was grueling because because what I was doing early in school, like my freshman and sophomore year, it wasn't translating to the clearinghouse.
Mm.
So I had to go highlight classes that core classes. Core classes is English, math, science, social studies, like something that translate into college. So
Mm.
they classified as core classes. So I had a couple, C's, and I don't think I ever got a D, but it was just a lot of C's that was just keeping me average.
Mm.
So I had to select the classes that I was good at first, and then that was like math, science. So I was trying to knock out to be eligible. I had to knock out like 4 or 5 classes. So literally, me, and at the time there was nobody helping me besides Coach Vite and the Midway Safe Harbor.
Mm.
So then, lunch break, and he stayed on me. Like he was like, "You got a scholarship." So I at this time I was taking recruiting trips, I think I only went to New Mexico and Tennessee State. I was supposed to go to like the FAM and Valdosta State, but I ended up liking TSU and I ended up going with them.
Mm.
So once I solidified where I was going, that's when the process of like he started getting on me. He started getting on me about the little things. He was like, "What's your weight like? Um, we got to get on this school stuff." So not even like I'm in school, but he literally he emailed, he got my schedule and he emailed the teacher. He was like, "Hey, this is a potential, college students. Whatever he need with help, to get past your class with a C, B, or A, let me know, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll try to get a tutoring and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
um, on top of that, I had to take Plato. Plato is replacement classes, so I was on that. So during lunch period, I had to go to his office, well, to his portable, and do homework. Really, just
Mm.
take a class. So in school, taking 7 classes. So in eighth, not so I'm taking like 8 classes. So I'm trying to do that, and then so after school I'm going. So I'm taking that classes, and I was knocking them out. I think I finished like a class like every 6 weeks,
Mm.
and then with that I end up getting all the classes and bringing up my GPA. But when the clearinghouse saw it, they said it was too fast for me to knock out all those classes. So
Mm.
they only counted 2 or 3. So which was a blessing in disguise. I got to college. The school was going back and forth with the clearinghouse. Well, it was too fast. Well, he got the information. So they was writing letters. So literally, I was a freshman. Um,
Before,
I
but
remember it like it was yesterday.
go ahead.
So I was a freshman. I was walking up the stairs, and I was in training camp. It was my first real training camp. So go up. It's like 2 days before school, and he called me. He was like, the final answer came in, and you ain't eligible.
Mm.
So I was like, and then like I just won the starting left tackle spot. Like I
Mm.
just won. I beat out like a junior, a senior, like, and I'm like, I'm bombed. So, but the great thing about Tennessee State, they don't just throw you to the wolves. Like they have a process of keeping somebody that they know can help the program. So he was like, come to my office. We got everything. We done been through this process before. You need to call. At the time, it was a lineman from Tampa on the team. His name is Duck. And he was like, call Duck. Duck went through the same thing. So I called him. Duck gave me a rundown. He's like, yeah, they gonna do this, that. You just gotta stay up here. You gotta know what you're gonna do. You gotta know everything. Like, so when I went into the office, he was like, yeah, we're gonna do your we're gonna give you we're gonna not give you a job, but we're gonna recommend you a job if you work in the cab.
Mm.
So they recommended the job. I went through everything. They gave me a job. So I was a part-time student, and I was working. So I had to pull out loans. As you know, the scholarship dropped
Right.
and everything. Um, I was up there paying for school and everything, and a part-time student. Um, and that whole so I had to work to maintain life and to pay for my ACT score, my
Mm.
ACT test. So literally, it was a lady named Miss Branch. I'll never forget her. She the only reason she was one. I wouldn't say the only reason. She was a major, major stepping stone into me being ineligible and being back in Sanford and staying and playing football for TSU because they had everything because like I said, they had everything with Duck before, so it was just like they knew it. It wasn't something new to them, so it wasn't the process of guessing. Like they knew the steps, so they was like, "You're not taking the SAT, you're only taking the ACT. We got a Miss Brent. She gonna help you out with everything you need to know. Um, every Tuesday and Thursday, we gonna make sure you find a way to, because she was like 30 minutes away from Tennessee
Campus.
State.
Right.
We're gonna find a way for you to get there. So they found me a way to get there. I'm paying for the classes. I'm paying for the classes. So I'm still working in the cab. Then, but working in the calf made me realize I don't want to work for nobody. So it gave me a sense of hunger, which
Mm-hmm.
like that's what I'm saying. My first year built who I molded into in college.
Mm.
Because if it would have went any other way, I don't think it would have went out. It would have
Mm.
came into fruition like it
Yeah,
was
like it
supposed to.
did. I mean,
Yeah.
that just. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. But I mean
Oh no, no.
that that just speak one to the drive you had. Because I mean, in high school, you could have, like a lot of people, you know, just say, man, bump all this. I ain't trying to do none of this work. You know what I mean? You could have just gave up. You could have just, not give your all into the off the field stuff. But I don't know who it was in the back of your head, or was it just personally just driven to get out of your situation, to get out of Midway and do something, with your life. But it seems like, once you started helping yourself, other people came into play and helped you out. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but you had to help yourself out first. And
Yep.
like you said,
Yep.
what you said the lady name was Miss what? Miss Brown?
Miss Branch.
Miss Branch. Yeah, she
Yeah.
and then people like that come and you just like, it kind of some things is meant to happen sometimes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Thank God for Miss Branch because she helped Duck, she helped me, she helped the other players, but God rest her soul because she ended up passing a few years back.
Okay. But
Yeah.
so that's why you was red shirted. Um,
Hmm.
okay, I saw that. I'm like, okay, I wonder if he got red shirted after his freshman year. But it seems
So
like,
technically in the books, I didn't redshirt because
mm,
I was ineligible, so my clock didn't start. So technically on
mm,
paper, I was a true senior.
mm, okay,
So yeah, so I did redshirt that year, but technically I was a true senior when I finished school. But it helped. That year helped me, get classes, get some classes ahead that I needed. You know,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
What
like the ACT.
what
I
was
was
some of
I was
the what were some of the things that taught you why you was working? You like you said you didn't want to work for nobody, and then like what's some other things just life lessons that you like, man, if I didn't go through this, I don't think, looking back on it, if I ain't go through that, like,
um, it I'm like I said, it made me into it literally made me into an NFL prospect because it changed my whole mentality. And I'm
mm,
like, everything can be stripped just like that. Literally,
mm,
it's people who literally sit here and can say, I can play or I can't play. And it's just
mm,
like when you working in the school calf, and I end up meeting like some great people in the dish room. Like one of them own a successful truck business, and the next one, like we worked in the calf in 2009,
uh,
and then the other one, own a trucking business, a moving business, and nobody would have ever thought we would have. And I end up making it to the NFL. Like we would have, transpired into what we did and what we doing now.
yeah,
So um, that just made me set my goals because I just didn't want to be in that situation again. That situation was it was horrible.
yeah,
It was horrible.
yeah,
Me coming from me being a part-time student, you can't live on campus, so I'm literally running around in circles from the RA,
mm,
sleeping on, you know,
mm,
people floors, sleeping
mm,
back in the room, like all type of stuff. It's crazy stuff like people wouldn't imagine, but all that stuff just gave me a drive to to be motivated, to come into college and what my weaknesses was, make them better, and what my strength was, ride on those.
yeah,
You know, make them even stronger than it was. So, I knew my weaknesses was conditioning. So I did all the condition like I was killing conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
I got stronger. Um, I know what my strength is. I'm an athletic guy. Like, I'm smart, so I excelled on those. Uh, then what else happened? That yeah, when I passed the ACT in January of 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when the next semester I officially was on scholarship, and but I was still working, still doing what I had to do, still you know sleeping on people's floors and some more
Man,
stuff.
you man, it's funny. Like looking back, man, you ain't no little dude running away from the RA, man.
No, it wasn't even like literally running away from them. It
I
was
you know
just like
I know what you
us.
said,
Yeah,
but still,
yeah,
it's like people really looking out for you. Like it
yeah,
it really showed, man. Your focus. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's
yeah. I didn't want to come back home. Like it, and at the same time, if you ever experience, I don't know if you went to a HBCU.
no sir.
If you ever go to a HBCU, and if I ever have the opportunity to have a child, um, I would try to make them go to a HBCU because it makes you respect that everything in our history
Mm,
because it makes it doesn't put you in as a number. Like you really genuinely get to know your professors.
mm.
Uh, you get the camaraderie of the school. You get it's like a melting pot. You can meet a black chick from Alaska
Mm-hmm.
all the way in Nashville. You can meet
Mm-hmm.
people from Chicago, California. It's just like, and you'll do that at other schools, but
It's different.
when it's all your people and all you've never looked like really down upon. Like we don't supposed to be here. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you made it out, so we gonna have a
Mm-hmm.
great time while we here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like
That's real.
that's how it is at HBCUs.
So I'm quite sure you still keep in contact with a lot of people from there.
Oh, oh yeah. Some of my closest people from we
That's
play football.
most definitely.
Mm.
As your junior year, sophomore, junior, well, I guess sophomore year, junior year, you started making some noise. You was what? All OVC, Ohio Valley Conference.
I, I was all OVC after my freshman year.
Yep. So you was sophomore,
So
junior, and senior.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then you was a two-time, well, yeah, two-time All OVC, and then you was second team FCS All American.
Hmm.
So like the transition, I know it's some people that you said that was pivotal in your growing years. What's some of the things people like Roger Gaines, Sherman Carter, some of them dudes like what's some of the things they taught you to grow you into this NFL prospect on the field?
Man, Roger Gaines and I wasn't even singling nobody out. We all was brothers, But me and Roger are tight. Me and Demetrius is tight,
Mm,
real tight. But the thing they taught me is like hard working, determination. Like Roger was he he had a similar situation to mine, so that's why we so close. So he was, but the only difference between him and me, he was a prop 48 because he was from the state of Tennessee. I
mm,
was I was literally a student,
right.
like they was keeping under wraps, so it was different. But to see the growth and the consistency in both of them, from me as a freshman to me as a junior, because they left my senior year, it was just crazy because um, we had a coach that like kind of like showed us the rope, showed us the way. So for Roger to take that jump, and the only reason he didn't get drafted because of his knee, he ended up
Mm,
messing up his knee. So to see him go from point A to point B and to make himself into a draft prospect, it was nothing but respect from that. And then we got other people like that. We got Demetrius Rainey, who came from JUCO, who only had 2 years to make himself into a draft prospect. Did it? We had Robert Myers, who made himself into a draft pick, draft prospect. Did it? We had um, Anthony Woods. We had Brandon Haskins. We had Kevin Kenton. It was just a lot of people, and it was mainly in the offensive line room, mainly the standards that you feel me, because they set the bar.
That's real. You see, y'all had a real culture down there. It was
It
some
wasn't
proof.
even real coaches. It was self determination. It was just because we as a unit, I went through like four offensive line coaches.
Mm.
So we literally like hung outside and we knew like and I call and if you ever talk to Roger, well, you won't talk to Roger, but if you could ask Roger, like we know we were so in sync on the left side that when I mess up, he could tell me my footwork without even looking at film.
Uh,
He was like, "You crossed over too much." It left me hanging. So I was like, "Okay, cool." Then I end up adjusting my footwork, or I end up if he need help, or if he say I'm going to set this person up, you come clean them. We'll do that. That's the type of bond we had, and literally we made a bond off our scout team. So we had one coach who really ain't even really fought with us like that. So uh, it was my freshman year, his sophomore year. So we were scout team, and we was just mauling people, and we just became close friends after that. It was
okay,
just one of those
but
things.
it,
So
it's still pretty dope. Like the determination you had to have, like coming from a small school like Tennessee State. Not coming from a Big Five. You know what I mean? And in your case, getting your name called, getting drafted in the
yeah,
fifth round. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? That's just no. That's just like you said, all will. The odds of it happening is slim to none.
Right.
So for all y'all to be on that sync, all y'all to have that mindset that we got to get it. I mean, I think that's what you need because if it's by yourself, if you was by yourself trying to do this, it's a lot tougher because you ain't really got nobody in your corner. Like, hey, keep going. Hey, keep going.
And that's the thing. Like at the time, we was holding each other accountable. Like I said, when Roger tell me like I messed up, like he held me accountable. And some people can get very selfish and and be like and don't take criticism. They'll think somebody won't. They'll think somebody out to get them, but it's not even like that.
That's real.
He gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna help us as a unit.
So tell us about people that don't know about the Southern Heritage Classic and being in the hole.
The Southern Heritage Classic is, man, it's like a mecca for like black people. It's like classic. If you ever went to a classic like the Florida Classic, it's different. It's similar but different. It's more so the Florida Classic. I feel like a class. It's like a fashion show. It's like who got the nicest cars, who got the nicest house, who got the nicest clothes, who got the you feel me? But that's just a product of our environment. That's where we from. But you go to the Southern Heritage Classic, which is a little bit different. Like you still got those, but you got people really out there like tailgating, barbecuing, looking forward to the game. You still got your people who want to be sober because it's still HBCU. They still gonna come out there with the Gucci and Louis and all that. But it's just it felt like it was so much more based around football or than the classic, the Florida Classic. That's football is probably the back end.
Right, you got the
It's just
halftime show, all that.
right.
Okay. And now who do y'all play in that?
Jackson State. We played Jackson State every year.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who.
Yeah.
So it seemed like Kevin Gates is a guy you really like.
Yeah.
What's up? What's something out of his story that you can relate to with your story, and and on your journey?
Just his persistence. If you listen to Kevin Gates and you follow this journey, in 2 years now, he he transformed from when he first came. He
Mm,
didn't let his element, his lack of support, you know, anything deter him. And then I like that I never met him in person, but he's a man of principle.
mm,
If you ever listen to an interview, you liable to pick up at least 8 to 10 gems
mm.
in the music too.
That's
In
real.
the music too. So and I think we got a similar story. Mine just more so with sports. His more so with
The music.
you know the music and being consistent and being persistent because he had a couple things in his way that almost derailed his career.
Right.
He got so I definitely listened to a lot of Kevin Gates.
Yeah, I think that's what it come down to, man. Because we all come from a background where it's certain things that's it's just the way the system is. It's meant to hold us back. You know what I mean? No matter how much talent we got, how much recognition we get, it's just certain things that just meant to destroy us, pretty much.
Hmm.
And I just feel like it's just that mindset, like you saying, from sleeping on the floor to getting drafted. It's just a mindset of, man, I'm just not gonna quit. I'm just not
Right.
gonna give up because like you said, you want coming back the same. And I guess I
Nah,
think I think I think a lot of people just need to find that why, like, and it got to be bigger than just them. It got to be something that's not, because you alone can only go but so far. But if you got other things that's motivating you, it's like, man, you can find ways to keep going. Cause,
right.
cause like I said before, what you did from going to Tennessee State, bro, to being the fifth round draft pick, that's unheard of, man. And
Right.
I didn't know till today you didn't play your first year. You had to work a job. That's even more like, bro. That's the numbers are just you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. And for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like I said before on one of my videos, man. Fuck them numbers. Do what you got to do
Hmm.
to get where you trying to go. And a lot of people got to understand it may not happen, but the thing was, like my pops always tell me, it may not happen what you want, but you gonna be a better person. You gonna have experiences that a lot of people can't say they had after the situation done and over with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
take us back, man. When you get that call saying, you are invited to the combine, you are an NFL prospect in college. Like, what was going through your mind? Bring us back to that moment.
Um, they all started during the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
I actually had surgery before training camp, so I was unable to do like the first 2 or 3 weeks. But scouts was coming, Colts,
Hmm.
Seahawks, like if you can name it, they was there. The scouts from that team. So I was hurt, you know. So and then prior to that, like I was back sleeping on the floor my senior year. You feel me? Like, cause I that's how bad I did not want to like I did not want to deter my dream by coming back to
Hmm.
Sanford. And
Hmm.
Sanford is not a bad place. I just know it's where I'm from and it's easy to get caught up.
Right.
So I haven't been home in like I said that stretch. I haven't been home for like a year and a half. Like I was determined not to,
Hmm.
because I was so off in my dream and trying to make it because um it it was just like it was right there. I was going into my senior year ranked 35th guard in the nation. And I was like, I set a goal for myself. It was top 10 or nothing.
Mm.
So, um, so with that transpired, go back to training camp. Couple weeks during that stretch, I had surgery, but we had no athletic training,
Mm.
and I ain't have nowhere to stay. So I got surgery, slept on the locker room floor.
Mm.
Then one of my teammates, thank God for his mother, he told her the story. She let me stay there until I was well. So what had happened? Then we end up coming for off season training, and I end up like I think I end up staying with Sam. One of my teammates named Sam Corn. We stayed in, paid a little $300 for to stay on campus. Took a little BS class, paid $300.
Mm.
Boom. So I'm not sleeping on the floor no more. None of that. Um, so fast forward to the season, I'm all healed up. I'm playing. Everything's clicking. The head guy over the senior bowl comes down.
Okay.
He writes the whole scenario up for me. He's built low, this, that, and the third. He can generate power, this, that, and the third.
Mm.
Uh, Slew footed, this, that, because I was on the watch list for the Senior Bowl. But that season, we end up making it to the playoffs in like 2013, like 14 years.
Mm.
So my head coach, ain't really want to get sidetracked, me to get sidetracked on what was going on outside of the team.
Mm.
So um, my last college game, we played. We weren't supposed to play them, but we played Jimmy Garoppolo
Mm.
uh,
He went to a small
at
school.
Eastern. Yeah, at EIU.
Mm-hmm.
We we almost it was 20 the first time we played them because they're in our conference. It was 24-34.
Mm.
The lowest amount of points they scored all year, the highest amount of points I think their defense allowed. But the second time around, they had a game plan. They beat the brakes off us. So at the end of the game, that's when he literally told me, like, you got invited to the Senior Bowl in front of the whole team. He's going to further his career, this, and that, and the third. You know, I'm crying because we lost because that's the loss is more so than
Right.
what he's saying. So, um, what happened? So that comes. Then when that ends, I'm on the hunt for an agent. Get an agent. Go out to California, train. My agent tell me you're invited to the
Combine.
combine. Yeah. So that was a that's a gruesome week. The NFL, the Senior Bowl is a gruesome week. I don't never want to go through those shit again.
Mm.
And then, the combine, I impressed a couple teams. I'm real like football savvy on the board. So I got Patriots boy on my phone up. I really thought I was gonna go there, but it was the team that drafted me that I ain't have
Oh, so
no
you didn't think Temp? You didn't know Temp was on the radar.
no.
Mm.
I had one workout. I had one workout from Tampa. They didn't talk to me during the Senior Bowl. They didn't talk to me during the combine.
Mm.
So I got to it, because after the combine, you got private workouts. So I
Okay.
had a private workout with Dallas. I had a private workout with Carolina. I had a private workout with Tampa. I had a private workout with the Colts. I had a private workout with the Patriots.
Okay. So.
So because they gonna work you out probably because they gonna see if you're because you're a small school guy, are you worthy of drafting?
Mm.
So for small school guys, those private workouts and those they at least 3 hours. And those moments on the board can either get you either get you drafted or get you a free agent contract.
Right.
Like so, um, so with that process being gone, so that's the only during Tampa. That was the only time I worked out. I impressed on the board, and I had like a good workout. So
What's
when the
what's
time came,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
huh? So when the time came, my the person that I knew who knew a person in that organization was like, I think they want you.
Hmm.
And it was like, and I was like, huh? It was like, you pretty high on their board. Like you the first lineman he want. So I'm like, okay, and I barely had any workouts for him, but well, I had that one good workout for him, but as a communication,
Yeah, it was
like we
none.
ain't even because after every time you eat, every time you have a workout, they try to take you out to eat
Hmm.
so they can
Get
pick your
know you.
brain some
Yep.
more.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So with that being said, we didn't even because the guy that I worked out with had to go, so we didn't even eat.
Oh, so you
So
didn't
I
even do that
literally
part.
right,
Wow, they really liked you in a lot.
right.
So what?
So
So
with
what
that
was?
being
What was some of the difference like coming from Tennessee State and getting into this big realm of, these quote unquote bigger NFL prospects? Like, what was a bigger difference that you noticed firsthand, that you was like, man, I see, it's a difference between where I'm from and what they did, or was it not a difference? What was something that you just picked off right off the bat?
you got to be technically sound. Don't let the game get too fast because if you're out there with wide eyes, I mean, either the situation is too big or you didn't prepare yourself enough.
Mm,
So that right there made me realize, like, when you get out there versus people who went to bigger schools, like some of them are legit, like the Aaron Donalds, legit, but some of them are just like you.
mm,
They just went to a school.
mm.
You know? But you gotta. But the thing that separates you from them, and the thing that excel you over them, you gotta be consistent. Consistent get you opportunity. Opportunity get you paid.
Mm, that's real.
So you gotta be consistent. When I say consistent, you gotta be consistent because they're already looking for an excuse. Oh,
Not.
he went to a small
Mm-hmm.
school. Oh, he
Mm-hmm.
this that.
That's real.
They don't.
But so take me back. So like, what got it in your mind to where was it like after a game, like your junior year, maybe end of your junior year? Was it a game you was like somebody put something in your head like, hey, you know, you on a board? What was the spark that moment? Like, man, I could really go to the NFL and get drafted. Like you had a dream, but then it's like when that
Yeah.
thing really hits you, like what was that moment?
It was my going into my junior year. Junior? Was it junior? Sophomore? Sophomore. I was going to my sophomore year.
Mm,
So we literally come in the room. I'm on my third offensive line coach. So I done went through Coach Williams, Coach Lefford. Now I'm on my third offensive line coach. He come in big chested.
mm,
Oh, when you run, don't put your hands on your hips. Don't put your hands on your head. Like time he trying to, take control of the room. It's his room. So like, man, go on. But he was like, I looked at film at every single one of y'all. He say that left side is something special. He was
mm,
talking about Sherm, me, and Roger. He was like, I wish I was here at the beginning of y'all career. Cause I would have made sure y'all was draft picks.
mm,
He was like, right now, he was like, I'm gonna get Sherm was a junior, Roger was a junior. He was like, Sherm, I'm gonna get you a free agent. I'm gonna get you a free agent contract. He's like, Roger, I'm gonna get you a free agent contract as draft pick. And he was like, Kadeem, you gonna be my highest draft pick.
Ooh.
And I'm like, all that off watching film, like, like, okay. I was like, okay. But it made me realize I'm doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he was like, you gonna be, you got it. Like, you athletic, you can get there, you can run down linebackers. Like, you just had to split your position that year. I was like, shit. I was like, me. I was like, okay, shit. If that's what you say, I'm listening to everything you got now. So literally, he literally taught me the game of football.
Mm.
Like how, like high school was all fun. College, it's a little bit of both because it's hard.
Right, right,
It's
right.
workout, this,
Right.
that, and third. But he really sat down and made me understand the game. Like, cause when because he studied me. Like he studied the game, but he studied his players at the same time.
That's real.
He was like, you're not one of these guys who like you could put it on the board, but you're a film and you're a rep guy.
Mm.
So I gotta see it and I gotta see it on film.
But then out there
I
do it.
gotta see what I'm doing wrong on film, and then I gotta rep it. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta rep all the different looks. I gotta make sure I'm doing my stuff right in practice. I gotta make sure. But these are things he's telling me that I don't know that I'm doing. You feel
Mm.
me? He
Okay.
was like, you get on the board and stuff like that. So I got on the board. He taught me like how to I did defenses. He taught me what so over from an under, balls, safety in the box, safety on the line, like all type of stuff.
So
But he ended up doing so after that guy, after him, they hired another guy. That was my dog. So we was tight. Me, him, Roger, we was tight. Then they fired him that um, that February. So
mm.
it's 2012.
Mm-hmm.
2012 that February.
So so it looked like you had a couple Miss Branches on the field too.
Miss who?
Miss Branch. You had a couple of Miss Branches on the field.
Oh yeah. I definitely did. I
Cause I
definitely
mean,
did.
cause I don't think people understand how important that coach role is in college specifically. It could make
Mm-hmm.
or break a lot of people's careers just
Yeah.
by somebody seeing something in you and somebody don't seeing something in you. So
Right.
you know, what I mean, that's always when you got people like that. You always got to keep them close and listen to everything they
Yeah.
say. Cause you know their best interest is at heart, and they ain't just trying to get over recruit you, trying to get you out of there type deal. You know how the game go.
Yeah.
Um, but
But
that's
that was the moment I realized like I had a chance. Like
hmm
I had a chance to be special.
So now you say you was in California when you got the call, or was your family with you?
Well,
How that when you got the call?
no,
How did
I
that
was in
work?
Nashville on my draft.
Yes, sir.
I was graduating,
Okay.
so um,
Well, congrats on that.
that weekend, appreciate it. That weekend, I had both the draft and I graduated on Saturday.
Oh, that's tough.
So um, I'm all over the place. Like,
Oh, that's tough.
so my family up there. So literally, the day of the draft, the first day, I really didn't stay by the phone. It was first, the first 32 pick. The
Mm.
second day, Carolina, the Browns was blowing my phone up.
Mm.
But the thing with both of those organizations, they took, you feel me? They took Pro Bowlers,
Mm.
so I can't be upset at them. They took Joel Batoni and they took Trey Turner.
Mm.
So
Mm.
after they took them, it was like they stopped calling because they got
Got
their
that.
lineman
Got that.
already.
Got that play.
Third round came up. Yeah, third round came up. That's when Carolina called. He was like, "I'm on the table with you. This now, I really want you." He was like, "The only difference is he went to LSU.
Oh Lord.
State, Tennessee State. And he's like, the GM went with the school.
That's tough.
So they end up drafting the Pro Bowl, but yeah, that's literally what he told me. He like called me like an apologetics, which coaches don't really do that. They'll just stop.
Yep.
He was like, I stood on the table, I really, really wanted you. Like I even tried to get a trade, if I could have two guards in the future. He was like, they just went with the school. So I'm like,
Wow.
cool. I'm like, cool. And then they end up playing. He ended up winning 4, 5 Pro Bowls for them. He was a dominant player. Um, then the third round over, then the fourth round hit. This is the day 3. So the fourth round come. I'm literally anxious. So the first day, uh, what is it? the the draft started at like 12.
Mm.
Well, yeah, it started like 12, but graduation started at like 10. I think 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So what I end up doing, I end up leaving my phone with Samquan.
Mm.
And I say, Samquan, talk to these teams and like me. And he was like, yeah. He was like, okay. So he in the school apartments while I'm
Graduate.
graduating. So I'm looking at the draft. My receiver sitting next to me. He was like, "Oh, this is the order. This is the order." Then he was like, the fourth round went past. Then he was like, fifth round went past. No, 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 no. The fourth round went past. I end up walking. And I end up leaving straight after that.
Okay.
So I end up leaving. I ain't end up sit back down. I just left. So and the crazy part, it started to rain. Like it was just a horrible. It was kind of a horrible day. It started raining, so we had to pick up everything, move inside.
Uh,
Then it stopped raining, so they picked up and moved us back outside.
mm.
So I'm looking at the time. They not caring about the time. They just want to get these students graduated. But I'm looking at the time. I'm like, I gotta go. So they called my name. I walk across the stage. I take my picture. I leave. I take off my gown and my cap. Boom. I ain't even stay up. I ain't even stay for the hat. For the hat thing.
Throw.
So I leave. I go to the apartment. I get my phone. He's like, yeah. These teams call. These teams call. They say they want you this, that, and the third. So this is like the ending of the fourth round. So my family up there, they steady blowing my phone up. I'm like, y'all cannot be calling my lineup. They steady calling my phone. They
Trying to see
steady
what's
calling
going
my
on.
phone. We want to come take pictures. We want you where you at. This and that and the third. I was like, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna come.
Right.
So literally, they steady calling my phone. My auntie, my cousin, my mama, this, my stepdad. So it's just like I'm gonna just go and see them. So literally, I'm driving on 65. Well, is it 65? It's 24 through Nashville. Then I see an 813 number, and it pop up. I'm like, who is this? So I answer the phone. He was like, hello, this Kadeem. I was like, yeah. He was like, well, this is Lovey Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How you doing? I was like, I'm doing awesome right now. I was like, he was like, you know what? We're gonna take you with this next pick. We just want to call and congratulate you. And I talked to the GM. I talked to Josh McCowan,
Mm-hmm.
and it was uplifting. So that was it.
And
I went
and
to the hotel.
and
They called me. They interviewed me and stuff like that.
in that moment, did you just what was it like? Did you just take time to reflect? Everything you've been through.
Yeah, I did. I took time for it, which was kind of like a blessing. But I didn't get to see my name, so I was pissed.
Nobody
But
recorded it.
I held that grudge. I held that grudge for years against my family members because they
Nobody.
kept blowing me. They
No.
kept blowing my phone up, talking about, we want pictures, we want. I ain't get to see my name go across the TV.
They, so
I
nobody.
just got the
So
call.
nobody recorded it.
No,
Wow. That's crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I'd have had, we had to figure that out for the. That's wild. But
Yeah.
I mean, man, like you like I don't know. It just you still made your mark though. You made your mark.
Right.
You made your mark. You know what I'm saying? And so we know, the city
Yeah.
know. So that's where it's at, bro. And it just seemed like now, it just really, just fighting injuries and getting into the right
Yeah.
situation.
My whole yeah. My that's how my injury. That's how my injury career been. It's been riddled with injuries.
Mm.
Every year, I broke my foot. High ankle sprain to another high ankle sprain to a knee to my other ankle being sprained severe. It's like I can't catch a break.
Right. Which I mean, it's common. It's common.
Mm,
But I feel like what you've done already is already speak volumes to who you are as a person. Cause like I said, bro, you could have gave up freshman year.
right,
I mean, you could have really just said, man, I done all this work just to get into college. Now you say I can't get into college.
right,
You know what I mean? So I got a question for you. Like some people say, oh, if I'd have done it again, uh, I wouldn't have done this, that, and the third. And I feel like you need to do that in the third and make mistakes, and
yeah,
because it's all leading to your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Who the
yeah.
person God put you here to be. What's one of
Mm-hmm.
your, you think, best mistakes? You know what I mean? That made you a better person today. At the time probably your worst, but now you like, man, I needed that though. I needed that loss.
Um, I would say complacency
Mm.
because even though I had all that drive through high school, through college, I had all that drive. I had all that built up fire, all that built up pain, and when I got to the NFL, I felt like I made it.
Mm.
Instead of doing the reverse, going like I went hard. Don't trust me, I went hard, but it's just I felt like making it was good enough.
Mm.
Making it was good enough, and tell you the truth, I didn't realize that until like I say when I was with the Cowboys.
Mm.
Like it was late in my career when I
Well,
realized that. It was just
last
like
year.
yeah, because if I would have had the mentality of not being complacent, I could have been still in Tampa,
Mm.
probably on my second contract, but I got so engulfed with making it
Mm.
because so many people put cylinders on me. You feel
Mm.
me? Like making it,
What was everything?
it was everything. It was everything to me. And then it shouldn't have been like that. It was say, okay, you made it, but you got a point to prove.
Mm.
Like you have a point to prove it. You came from a small school, so you already battling against that because they always trying to replace you. Like I should have went in there with a whole different mindset, the
Mm-hmm.
same mindset that when the game was taken from me, I should have refocused,
That's
sat down, and made something simple as a goal list. So
that's real.
that was my biggest mistake, being complacent.
That's real. That's real. That's growth though. To even say that, that's a lot of growth.
Well,
A lot of people want to admit that. That's dope. That's dope.
yeah, I got complacent.
So, like I said, any next Kadeem Edwards listening to this, man, listen to this dude and what he picking up, cause what he putting down and pick it up, cause he done it. He done went through it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that that yeah that. So so right now, man, I want to just pick your brain, and then we'll end. I ain't gonna try to hold you too long. Uh, the business ventures, man, that you've been learning. For dudes that have that business mindset. Like you said before, you didn't want to work for somebody. You
Mhm.
didn't want to have a boss. What's some of the some gems you could give a Kadeem Edwards coming out of college, or just that college football athlete that's trying to be in the business world. They got some money and that's trying to do something outside of their sport.
The first thing I would say, every plan ain't a good plan.
Mm,
And then when you go into business ventures, make sure it makes sense.
mm,
Like if you go into a business venture with somebody and they don't cross all the T's and dot all the I's, but you look into that business venture and they have an out, like they know they can have an out at the end of the
mm,
day, I would stay away.
mm. Okay.
Um, Another thing is, you know, if it feels good, then do it because you don't want to fail and invest in somebody else's dream when it goes wrong. You want to do something that you want to do. So if it excels, then it's gonna make you want to get better.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't, then you know at the end of the day you did it. You at least tried to do it, and it was yours. Don't ever let nobody force you into, like, because you got the money, into investing in their dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they come in, it's their dream.
Mm-hmm.
They come in to give you either a get rich quick scheme, or it's their dream. So just be skeptical. Just be skeptical because everybody ain't for you. You just beneficial.
Mm.
At that moment, you beneficial.
Mm. That's real.
It's easier. It's easier for them to run off on you than it is for them to run off on the bank.
Mm. That's a bar. That's a bar. Yeah. Uh, and to end it, man. You had a give back event in Midway last summer.
Yeah, last summer.
Um, how you felt about it? What made you want to do it? And well, I would just say and that too. I would say just appreciate you doing it for your city. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
lot of people
Um.
don't take that
Oh
time.
no, no. Finish what you were saying.
No, I'm saying a lot of people don't take that time to actually, you know, want to do something like that.
I ain't gonna lie. It was a phenomenal feeling. I just feel like it was well overdue
Mm.
because when I was injured so much, I'm literally the off season. I come home for a month, but then I'm right back to rehab. You feel
Okay.
me? Maybe I say a month at the most, but I'm rehabbing from the middle of January or the end of January all the way until I go back. I'm trying to at least get back the way I was, at least 90% the way I was, not even all the way back. So it was just well overdue. I had a couple close friends, not a couple, a close friend chip in on a little bit. So I appreciate him, but the whole experience was phenomenal. It gave me some learning points. It gave me some um, who is accountable for being professional
Mm.
and who's not. Far as family members, far as people who say they're gonna do something, and people who financially bond in because you pay them.
Mm.
Like you you really see who really about business, and they do it from love, or the people who do business for the money.
Mm. Mm.
So just to go out there and see this. even though it got rained out, I still had the tournament. I still had the 3-on-3 tournament. But it was phenomenal to see the smile on those kids' faces, and because they don't have stuff like that.
Right. For people that
They don't.
don't know, tell them what you did. You know, the whole shebang. Like,
So what I did, I had a free kids and community day in the Midway Park. Um, so I had jump houses, I had ice cream, I had a gaming truck, I had food, I had Italian ice, I had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament with a cash reward. I had t-shirts and gifts for kids, um, prizes. Um, it was just a good community event. It was just the bad part. It got rained out
mm,
that day, because it would have been even bigger. But it did give me a learning. It gave me what people really like, and it gave me a learning experience.
mm,
I liked the basketball thing, so uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna do something with that.
okay,
So I'm gonna try to build off that basketball tournament.
okay. Well,
So
like I said, you doing, you know, in closing, man, you doing what a lot of people would love to do. You know, uh, so by you doing it, man, a lot of people living through you. You know, so we just commend you to keep going, bro. You know, man, keep going and keep showing the way, cause you know that's each one teach one. You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? Um, and you know, continue getting healthy. You know, Lord knows, you know what script may come next. So you just gotta stay ready.
Yeah.
Um, so in closing, would you like to say anything? You know, to the people, or just you know that person that's listening. You know, uh,
Uh, for the kids who got dreams and aspirations, follow your dreams. Because you'll never know where you're gonna land.
that's real. That's real. Get to that contract season, man. Hey, Kadeem Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, bro. This was well needed.
Yeah, appreciate you for
Yeah,
having me on.
yeah, it's well needed, bro. Well needed, man. And I better not. You better have my burrito bowl. You better not take my burrito bowl next time I go to Chipotle.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of Chipotle.
Yeah, you
I'm
know
calling
it.
Chipotle out. Calling Chipotle out.
Yeah, it's too funny. But yeah, bro. But appreciate you, man. Keep in touch, bro. And thank
All
you for
right.
your time, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate